Since winning the World Cup in 2014, Germany's record looks like this, with serious question marks over Julian Nagelsmann's position. 2018 out in the group stage, 2022 out in the group stage, and of course last night out in the round of 32. Let's get more on this now with a man who knows exactly what it's like to represent Germany at the World Cup. Came third with them back in 2006. I'm not saying he's frustrated, but while he was hanging on Zoom waiting for this moment, I'm told he was chewing on a pair of scissors. Good morning to Robert Huth. Morning, Robert.
You got your eyes everywhere, you lot. Yeah.
How are you, my friend? Are you good? You're looking well.
Yeah, slightly depressed after last night. Once the game went into penalties, I obviously was very confident, but yeah, it turned out to be false hope.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre situation what's going on with German football at the moment. Why do you think it's been total freefall ever since you guys won the World Cup in 2014?
I think there's been a certain amount of arrogance in the German camp and the FA. I think we've been living in the past since 2014, really. Nothing's really changed. I think the football is the same, very possession based. We haven't really got any mavericks that can turn games around. We saw that last night. Leonard obviously is a big miss from the World Cup before he got injured. I think he could have made a difference last night. But in terms of that, I think it's been really, really slow football. Boring at times, and when it gets physical and when we play against teams that are a little bit more athletic, I think we struggle. We've seen it in the group stage too. When you watch the Ivory Coast game, I think we got lucky there. We should have probably lost that as well. So, and Ecuador was a real eye-opener. And what we failed to do after the Ecuador game was to be honest, in the press and in the team, it was kind of brushed aside as in, well, we were safe anyway kind of thing. So we took the foot off the gas, and that showed last night.
Good morning, Robert. It's Manu.
Looking good, mate.
Yeah, you too. Well, who is responsible for this mess? The manager, the players, all together?
I think it's been a combination of all what you just said. I think when you look at the game last night, could the players have done any better? I think, yeah, they could have done. I think they played with themselves. Once they went 1-0 down, they sort of stepped up a little bit. But I think, we just got stuck in thinking the Bundesliga is great because we have full stadiums, but we didn't innovate really after the 2014 win. And we're just confident. We were too confident, really. We always say, we're Germany. We're not anymore. We haven't been since 2014. And unless this kind of attitude changes, not just from the team, I think even from the nation itself. When you read the papers, you listen to fans. We still live in the past. We need to put that to the side and start working. Go back to what Germany was. Being an organized, hardworking team. These kind of attributes that we had, because at the moment against the lesser teams, we get outworked, outfought, and outplayed at times.
Are you happy with Nagelsmann's decision, the way he picked the squad before the World Cup? Some decision as well tactically. I mean, Kimmich, for example, or Neuer in the goal,
I think the big one that really unsettled the squad was the Neuer inclusion. I think really unexpected. He came late to the table. And when I've watched Neuer obviously quite a bit, and yes, he had some good games in the league, and notably probably in the Champions League against Madrid, where he was outstanding. But he also had some really, really bad games that I've seen, and I don't think it justified him being in the squad at all. A couple of good games, and I think it just sets out a bad attitude when the coach kind of get another player in that's retired. I was actually at this retirement game in Munich a couple of years ago. So that's how long he's been retired from Germany. So for him to sort of come back surprisingly like that is, it can't be nice for Baumann. It can't be nice for the squad. It just shows a little bit of weakness, uncertainty from the coach to sort of change your mind last minute. And I think that kind of goes through the squad. Regarding Kimmich, great player, 100%, but he's just not a right back. We've seen that in the group games, even against Curacao, where he struggled. He struggled in Ivory Coast and obviously Ecuador too. So he just hasn't got the legs anymore for right back. It's difficult to accept because he's such a good player and he's still great in midfield. But right back, it's a position where you have to be physical, you have to be fast, you have to be strong. And he's just not that at the moment.
Who have you got to ask you? Because us as English fans, whenever there's a kind of indifferent result, we start talking about who's not there. We talk about Phil Foden, Palmer, all these great players that they could change a game. Is there anyone from the German squad that's not there that you thought should have been in the squad?
Kevin Schade, I would have thought. I thought he had a brilliant season last year for Bradford. Always liked him. I liked his energy. I like his pace. I like his directness. So, but as far as I know, I don't think Nagelsmann ever been to a Premier League game last year.
Wow.
To watch him. So that's a real disappointment because when you watch him live, I think he's a fantastic player. Certainly, again, it's hindsight, isn't it? We say, oh, he should have been in the squad. Now we are, but I think Kevin Schade is a fantastic player and certainly would have improved the squad. So, but Nagelsmann is not known for his visibility at games, so which is disappointing.
Robert, would you like to see Nagelsmann go and Jurgen Klopp come in?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think 99% of Germany would like Klopp in this manager seat. I think he represents everything that Germany needs at the moment. Energy, passion, relentlessness, all these kind of things, and it's been quite awkward to be fair because he's been working for German TV on the sideline, so it's been quite awkward at times when he gets asked about the position, especially last night when I went out. But he ended it well. But I think it's inevitable that Nagelsmann will go. It'd just be a matter of time, and then I think Klopp would take it for sure because. Like I said, he's loved by pretty much everyone. His football is exciting. If he's anything to go by from his Dortmund days or his Liverpool days, so if he can replicate that for Germany, I think there'd be exciting times ahead. And also, he's that kind of personality that he would probably change the structure of the German FA too, because there's been some questionable decisions in the past too.
Huth, as bad as Germany were certainly in that game, there are kind of fine margins when it comes to football, and there was the goal disallowed for Jonathan Tah, which I thought was ridiculous because I don't think that was a foul. What did you make of that decision?
I didn't even know till I stopped it and went to VAR. I didn't even notice it in an actual play. It's just not a foul, is it? Football's heading that way where any kind of contact now is a foul, and it's a real shame because I want to see the players compete. I want to be a bit of bodily contact without it being dirty elbows in the face. But that certainly wasn't the case yesterday. And when you actually watch it, there's been loads of blocking going on while the goal was happening anyway. But the keeper obviously made a bit of a meal of it, and the referee brought it. But Benty, I think you spot on, man. I think there should have been a goal. And if that goes in, who knows? We probably end up winning the game, even though it would have been a disappointing game anyway. But at least you're in the next round. So, it wasn't a foul. It's just football heading that way where it's just boring, soft, and everything I don't like, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Robert, always a pleasure. I'll let you get back to eating those scissors. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, and we still got one German flag flying with Thomas, so it's not all bad. Come on, Thomas.
Are you cheering on the English now?
Thomas. I didn't say England, I said Thomas.
Yeah, but who does he represent? Remind me.
Germany.
Do you want
it? Germany.
Well, you see that as a German World Cup win? Is it coming home? Is that what you're saying?
At least 75%. Yeah.
Yeah.